say to open.
Morning.
Morning. Hello, everyone. Kirby,
Yes,
is that your
it's
coffee?
morning.
Is that your coffee? Yes. Where did you go? The Joe and Juice. How much that cost you? That's the protein drink shop.
Yeah. Well, they do coffee
Yeah,
and
but why did you
sandwiches.
choose that one?
They
How
have
much did that
lovely
cost you? Like £6 or so?
$3.90, something like that.
$3.90.
Stole my mic. Please explain.
Oh, sorry. Right, I forgot. Hang on. Oh, yeah, I've got a new mic. Right, everybody good?
Yes.
I've said to you, but I said you look good today. But I did say to you, you look good, didn't I? Say earlier, you said you're not feeling well.
No.
Yeah, when you stood there, and I said you look well. And you said,
Probably the lovely sweat is making you glow. I'm just joking. By the way.
I'm sorry.
or the blue shirt. You look good in blue.
Yeah, blue is your color
Yeah.
for sure.
I had a stomach parasite called cryptosporidium, or as it's known to its friends,
So under.
cryptovirus. So yes, I have been infected with the cryptovirus.
Yeah, if you got them cleaning wipes.
And we're sitting here.
That was about 5-6 weeks ago.
Okay,
I
got it,
have
yeah, we're fine.
been
You look fine.
decontaminated.
Okay.
Okay.
Scrubbed.
But also, I have to have lost loads of weight.
Oh, right.
Because
Oh,
I
see,
was
I might
very,
pick
I
up.
was very
both
unwell.
Of you,
Yeah.
both
I was very
of you look
unwell,
really slim.
Are you? What have you changed? Have you changed? You haven't changed your hair, have you?
Yeah, I got highlights.
I knew there was. I just thought.
Yeah.
I thought maybe you
I'm so
got
sorry.
married or something. You had a glow about
I
you.
got married. Sorry.
Yeah, you're not married now, are you?
Not anymore.
Right. Yeah. Okay. Right. Oh, God. Although you the way you said before how you had a happy divorce sort of rekindled my
Yeah.
belief in it. I thought, okay, you can. It's not like if it goes bad, it goes bad.
Well,
You said it's sort of
Yes.
it's amicable.
it's not dance on roses, to be
Yeah.
honest. It's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because
But you
you're not-
came out of it not hating each other.
No, we don't know.
Right.
It's just it is really sad. Like
Yeah.
because I was in Sweden not too long ago, and it's always hard to meet the family from from his side, because you still have the feelings for them and the love for them. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like
Oh, you mean they weren't being bad to you? You just missed them, sort of thing.
No,
Right,
but
okay.
it's just like because you have that wall. Well, it's not going to be the same.
Yeah, no, yeah,
like,
of course, yeah.
And you kind of have that wall, and we have a beautiful child together, which also makes us still have that contact that we otherwise wouldn't have.
Right, yeah.
But it is the tricky one. Yeah.
So if you started dating somebody,
Yeah.
do you have to bring that up to the ex-husband? Or it's nothing, doesn't mean anything?
Well, we kind of
Because the kid's going to see somebody new, you know? Am I overthinking it?
100%. Like we actually had this conversation because
Oh, yeah, go on.
no.
What?
If you don't want to, that's
I
fine.
was just
If
like-
you're just like, oh, this
I
is...
think my mom will watch this.
Don't say anything you don't
No,
want.
I tell my mom
Right,
almost
okay.
everything. But no. We actually had this conversation, and I told him like, if you would, because yes, he has, but if that would happen, I would like to know if my son will
Right,
be
that's
there.
what I mean. Yeah.
That's just showing respect for
Yeah,
me,
of course,
because
yeah.
I would do that same for you.
Yeah.
But I won't go into detail because I was a bit annoyed about something that
Okay, yeah.
happened.
Certainly not, but I think it's important to sort of set ground rules and boundaries.
Ground rules, boundaries, but at the same time, this is new for us as well, and we're going through things the first time as well.
Right.
Like it's a kid learning to walk or swimming or whatever. Like yes, I am 30 years now for the first time. I'm never going to have that first time as a 30-year-old, and then suddenly I'm 31, going through something else, and then going through something else. So us grown-ups are also going through something for the first time, if that makes sense.
Every day. Every day's a new experience, yeah.
You're changing the topic.
Right, I'm just going to do a horrendous gear change to get us out.
No,
of
we
this
can talk
pull-up.
about anything. Bring it
No,
on.
I was going to ask.
Yeah.
On the way here, so it's coming through Piccadilly. So we're in Soho in Piccadilly, and it's usually busy anyway. But the train to get into the station, there must have been 100 static people at the top waiting to even get onto the stairs. Like there was a massive group of people waiting to get onto the
It's been
stairs.
crazy now this past weekend.
But how can people travel like that to work and back? Like
Do they have a choice?
that's not.
Yes,
you've
sir.
You've got half an hour just to get to the train and be crushed on. Go on.
Sir,
Yeah.
Because yes, because they don't have a choice.
There is a choice. You get a bike, you could walk.
No, there isn't, because you need to.
Oh, well, then you're in the
to
wrong
get
job.
from this part. Well, yeah. and the sorting hat put you in the wrong house. But like, what can you do?
Everyone's on a bike. It's so hard to get a line bike.
But why would you put up with
Or-
that? Like, that's your life dripping
Not
away.
all of us has the fancy car. No, I was kidding. No.
No, because I put things in place. Like, okay, so if I get a new apartment or whatever, right?
Yeah.
I make my life as simple as possible on all levels, proactively. I know I'm doing it. So if I go to an apartment, I say, right, we'll meet. I always tell them, no, I want to go there at 5:30 in the night because I want to see how many cars. I want to see what the traffic's like. Don't want to go there at 11 o'clock in the afternoon when everybody's at work. I want to see what it actually looks like. And if there's parking problems, no, don't care how cheap it is. I'm not dealing with that little problem every night. I'm not dealing with if you're working somewhere, you move and you travel there. Or I'll change my shift from a day shift to a night shift so that there's no traffic. But why would you stay in a job where you've got that horrendous travel every day without going, I'm done?
Yeah, I'll chime in here.
Charles Kirby.
I'll chime in here. Yeah.
Charles Kirby Reading.
Yo. Okay, so yes, as a man.
So this is the deal.
As a man who does a lot of commuting and tries not to think about it, I'm very good at lying to myself. I really am.
Right.
I'm great at it. You know,
We all do.
I've got myself in a web of lies.
Right, yeah.
I can sort of compartmentalize the different hemispheres of my brain and just let them lie to each other.
Like,
Let them communicate with each other and lie, keep secrets
Keep
from
me
each
out
other.
of it.
So yes, you just kind of end up in a situation sometimes where
Just get used to it. You don't realise. Just get used to it.
just
maybe.
London's horrifically expensive.
But
like
why would you
rent.
put
I was
up
looking at
with it?
rent.
like,
I was looking
why are we living here to begin with?
I was looking at rents the
Yeah.
other
why are you?
week, and it's like, and it was just like, oh my god! I was looking at rents around where I work, and I was like, okay, cool, can't afford that.
Yeah. But when I was living in London, I thought, right, you got an office here, right? I can't have one, and got to have one or the other. So I moved out.
Yeah.
I wouldn't never think of.
But that's what a lot of people do now when they.
Yeah, they are, yeah.
Because it's just like of course, it doesn't make sense because of the traveling, and it depends on where you're living and the costs of traveling. I used to live way further away, and it cost me like £30 just to travel a day.
Yeah.
For the day.
And you kind of got to budget that in. That's the thing. It can be a false economy. That's the thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what do you want? What do you want to save time, or do you want to save money? But at the same time, I feel like it doesn't really matter.
No, so this
at
is
the
my
end of the
thing.
day
What you do is
when
you go, where's the stress?
Yeah.
Remove that. Because you're either paying for it in stress or you're paying it in money.
Yeah, fair.
One has to give. So I say, right, I'll lose the money and I'll pay for fuel. So the stress isn't there. Because you've got too many moving pieces in life anyway. So anything that can be cut out. So yeah, I live an hour drive away. It's a nice drive. I do it at the right time. And then I haven't got stress. Because you can say, okay, I'm going to be right near the place, but then I'm going to deal with stress. You go, no, wherever the stress is, get rid of that and pay more.
But it almost takes an hour to get anywhere in London, though.
Yes,
in a
it's
way.
not like I'm travelling
so
6
you're
hours.
not really.
Yeah, but just seeing them stood there going, you're going to die one day, and you're stood every day, crowded on the street with 40 minutes to get onto the train that you're going to be crowded. What you're doing is sort of like, you're disrespecting yourself.
But sometimes you're just like when you're used to it and it gives you the kick and the no. But like when you're, I gotten kind of used to it, taking the train and like just saying F off like to people. Not really. Very nice.
Get away from me.
Yeah, exactly. No, but it's just like some people are really rude. Where is humanity?
I was saying
it's
to
like
a friend of mine who's come from the States, I said, you have to become neurotic. You have to put up with it.
It's just like
you have to become harder.
Yeah.
And I said, I'm not doing it. So I feel weird when I come in because I see everyone. You see the neuroses.
It's the stress.
And it's normal. And you go, it isn't. Because you have to remove yourself.
Go
on. No, go on.
No, okay. So yeah, I was traveling up to London this morning on the train.
What time?
8:30. Western Rail.
But you're coming in from Reading. It's not like you're travelling in.
Well, but it's one of the busiest stations.
Yes,
Right.
there's so many people. Yeah, that used to be my route.
It's one of the busy commute routes. Like coming to London because it all comes from the West Country and everything, and Midlands, some Oxfordshire and stuff. So, I was in the vestibule. Me, another bloke opposite. Two of us in a small, confined area with no aircon. Other bloke decides to just spend the whole journey farting.
Oh, see, that's worse than I thought.
Wait. Like,
quite
went
bad.
for it.
And he was a young guy,
just went for it.
but handsome. But you know.
Yeah, if he was 90.
No, but just went for it.
Yeah, well, he did a few coughs to cover it, and I'm like, bro, why are you? No, but like, because I was like,
oh, come on,
and I was like, And I turned around and I was like,
right. Okay.
and I was sort of giving him a,
Yeah.
I was like, I wanted a flicker of shame.
Yeah.
Just an acknowledgement to be like,
face go red or something.
just to clock me and go, huh?
Yeah. But that must have been a medical condition or something. For you to notice that, it's not like he's just being rude. It must be something.
Maybe you just couldn't hold it in.
Yeah, but I was just like, why are you coughing to cover it up, bro? There's just me and you. It's not me. I know it's not me.
We both know who it is.
Yeah. I was like, why are you pretending? Like, what?
That endears me to him a bit. At least he's being thoughtful. That he goes, he's embarrassed. Otherwise, he just didn't care.
Sir, it did not endear him to me.
Right. Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought you'd be a bit more calm than that. Well, okay. Well, it's a long journey.
It's a half hour.
Just like, this smells lovely.
And I was tasting what he ate last night. So, I mean,
I'll never forget getting on the train.
What was it?
No. Yeah. I'll never
curry, I don't know.
Getting on the train, and it was about 5 people, and a woman got on, and she sat right next to me, which was like, okay, why have you sat right next to me? And then she started eating McDonald's right next to me. And I just
that's so
I just started to black out with rage. I can't remember. Just thinking, don't say anything. Don't say anything. I was just thinking, I'm trying to think of ways out of why she would have done this.
I can just imagine you trying to explain this in court someday.
It's so funny you said that, because a friend of mine, he died. He used to say to me, right, I'm not going to tell you what to do, but just whatever you do now, remember you might be explaining this in court in 3 months. And it's sort of like, oh yeah, it's not going to be important in 3 months. Just let it go. I'm going to forget about this. I had a court case. I can't remember any court cases. I think it was either 2 or 1. When I was doing security, there's security, protecting people as usual. And then I get dragged in. I remember when I had to go into the court, I was like, I can't remember anything. I've had like 10 fights, and I don't know who these people are. And I was trying to remember, what was the fight about? It was this is how bad it got used to it.
They didn't give you any prep or anything?
No, I mean, it was a court case.
Yeah, but they didn't, the prosecutor or whatever didn't sort of talk to you.
Yeah, but it was sort of like a bit here, and then 2 months later this, and I'm doing other stuff. It's not court like you would think it's important. I'm working dawn, I'm getting fights, and there's gang stuff going on. It's like, but when we went, I thought, I don't know, it must have been important at the time, but I remember what it was, but they were like pigs, like they were spitting, and when they turned up to court with their parents, and they were sat there like little angels, and I thought, I wish I had the footage of him spitting and pulling off his top and trying to come at me, and then they were just sat there. It turns out there were 3 law students, so they obviously thought they could get some money. I was so nonchalant about courts and things like that. As I said, I can't remember if there's 2 or it was somebody else's, and it was my court case or it was his, but I remember that one.
They'll just bleed into one after a bit.
Nobody knew I was going to court. I'm going to court. That's not a joke. I'm going to court. And I turned up in a works van, and I put it on the meter, and then I thought, oh, hang on, I'm going to court. What am I going to do if I don't come back out? That's how little I cared. I was just busy with other stuff.
Yeah.
But then I'm outside, and I haven't told anybody where I am. And I thought, oh, hang on, I might not come out of here. I should have planned for this. That's how chaotic the world was. Anyway, yeah, and I was the innocent party anyway, so I got off because it wasn't a thing. Talking of injustices, so I made some notes on my pad, and then I forgot the pad.
My pad?
Yeah, my pad. So I'm going to have to go back to the original source. So I put some stuff in there. And I've got to switch off the internet.
What's happening?
Is this stuff that's been happening to you?
No, just so this
is my diary.
No, it's like in other news.
On the 26th of September.
I was collecting in other news. So the Taliban.
Was it dead dog in alleyway?
No, it wasn't. That wouldn't make sense.
I think Rorschach's. That was Rorschach's diary. Yeah.
No, I don't know what that is.
Watchmen.
I haven't seen that for years.
Yeah.
What's the diary?
It's the diary of literally the diary of a madman. He writes, it's Rorschach's thing, and he just writes
does he have a diary? I don't
remember. It's a framing device.
Oh, right.
Throughout the thing.
So the Taliban have banned windows in houses because they can't allow women to be seen from the outside.
Oh, yeah.
No, they did give a bit of a grey area where they said as long as it's not the part of the house where the woman isn't going to go into. So it's basically the kitchen and anything with the courtyard that you have to... and it's not... I thought, okay, it's going to be new buildings. And no, they've made it retrospective. You have to brick up any windows in your house that will be where... They specifically say the kitchen.
How did we get onto this?
It was a gear change from our relationship.
I was not expecting this. I've got to say, But I was not expecting this left turn.
I wasn't expecting that. No, it's so important that you've actually got to brick up old houses. And it was the fact they said it's not every window, but it's the kitchen and the courtyard. Like
I like that there's wiggle room there, though. Yeah. I like that they're like, you know what, we're going to go by window basis. There's a bit of flexibility in the policy there.
That exists in this. Like, we're not in different time era. That exists now.
Kind of they are, to be honest. Yeah,
but that's the thing. But I thought the first person that brought that idea up. Imagine how insecure the bloke is. Just our women cannot be looked at. It's
not okay. Yes, maybe it is men that are very, very, very insecure. And
it's definitely that.
Tiny.
Well, as a culture, and it's. You speak to people at the armies that have gone to these places, and they say, right, you're supposed to be this ultra religious country, conservative beyond belief, God and all that. And he says, you see them having sex with boys and things coming out of bushes. You see it everywhere. Sometimes they don't even hide it. It's a big cultural thing as well with the young boys. And so it's all like this cover up. It's like all the right wing in America. You go, why are you ultra Christian? You go, what are you hiding? Why do you hate gay people? Like, come on, let's stop this nonsense.
I was always thinking, what's on your internet browser history, mate? Yeah,
that's all. It always comes back to base things. You hate that person for no reason. Does nothing about it. It's not like I think
it's a more you problem and not less of a them problem to begin with when it comes to stuff like that, or when people are.
But that's all it is.
Yeah, but it's just like it's just hate.
If you don't like gay people, and I say, right, why is this a thing in your life? Have you been attacked? Well, I was attacked when I was a kid. Oh, a gay guy killed my dad. Okay, fair enough. That's all. But if there's nothing, and you're just going on about it all the time, suggest something. But it's so obvious. It's bloody. What we said before, I don't know, on the podcast about when Google released the where all the porn was. And all the right wing, all the what they call them, like the Bible wing,
the Midwest states and all that.
Yeah, what's it called?
Bible Belt.
When there's a history search of their high.
All the southern states,
very high.
It was interracial porn and teen porn. That's where it come specifically down there.
Well,
there you go.
Isn't there a
It's all bullshit. All Christianity. It's all bullshit. It's all to hide stuff.
But this is people. I think. Like, I find it so sad. Like, people love to twist and turn things. Like, you can be a religious person or not, like, but people like to twist and turn it just because of I don't know.
I think
trying to find the right words.
I think people like having rules, and using those rules to make other people do stuff, and they're like sort of, and you get this with sort of any kind of organised group, with sort of, I don't know, the council, the parish council, the neighbourhood watch group. The whatever, the local book club, you know what I mean? Whatever, like they go, okay, here's our little space, here's our little rules, and you have to do what I tell you now. And I think that there's sort of that element.
Yeah, but it's when they become overly about, you've got to have this type of family and this, that. Like with who's the guy that got assassinated? Charlie Kirk.
We did.
And for
here we go.
Yeah, and like
here we
gay
go.
People, black people.
Yeah,
I didn't know who he was, so I had to look into it. But,
I was on that. We were on a meeting, and I said, and I was like, oh shit, Charlie Kirk's just been killed. And everyone was like,
oh, you knew who it was?
Yeah, yeah. I'm online too much. I watch a lot of politics stuff.
Right.
So,
but most people that I know knew who he was and was very against him and what he stood for.
Yeah, and I thought, it can't be that bad. I half saw him in an interview so I looked at it again. I thought, he actually said the things out loud on the camera. So it's not like, I thought it's just like they don't like him because he's probably there. But that sort of, it's the perfect life Christian thing. There's no religion in these people. That's just a cloak for whatever's insecure about you. Because there's no reason if you have an extreme opinion. You can not like gay people or whatever, and it just never gets brought up. You just don't like. But when you're out there talking against it, that suggests some things about you. And I said before, there was a woman on an American podcast, and she lived in the Bible Belt, and she wasn't Christian, but she lived in that community, and she'd been divorced, and she always felt a bit weird that she never went to church and all those things. And she said, I didn't know if they were religious. And then when Trump came out, and they all had the Trump stuff outside. And she said, thank God, because I knew you lot weren't religious. Now suddenly the family values have all gone out the window. She said, I knew it wasn't a religious thing. It was basically we want to keep the world white the way it was. That's all the masking and it's all a charade. It's just, when you say Christian, what do you actually mean? Because the thing is, if you have a real opinion on something, that's fine. I shouldn't be able to guess everything else about you. But if you say, I'm a Christian, okay, and I like Trump, I can guess what you think about this, what you think about that, what you think about that and that. That means you're in a cult and you're a liar. Because you could say stuff to me and I could come across a certain way, but then you won't be able to guess other stuff because you're a free person with independent thought. But if you say I'm a Christian and I support Trump, you say if I'm a Christian, I don't know what you believe in. Could be anything. I'm sure you don't hate black people or whatever. But when you say I'm a Christian and I like Trump, I go, right, let me guess what you think about this, and this as well. And you go, oh, there you go. So it's not about you being a Christian. That's what you mean by Christian is I want the world to be white and the way it used to be when I was growing up. That's all you mean by that. There's no godliness to it. There's no religion. Because if you were just a good Christian person, you're not going to have a load of extreme opinions. But add Trump to it, that means that's a lie. And if you keep pushing the Christian thing while liking Trump, that suggests that Christianity is a cloak that you're hiding behind to mean I want the world to be the white way. Charles.
Oh, all right. I do.
Do you class yourself as a Christian? We just sort of okay, right, go on.
Yeah. I cannot deny I do. Just basically because.
Listen, I give to a church.
What do you say that you're a Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, same.
I give 20 quid to my local church, unless I know the priest there.
But in a way that
so I'm not anti-religion.
Yeah, but in a way that it just kind of is, in a dumb way, it's the sort of default explanation for our culture and our society of that kind of. It's what we give those, we label those things, and so I'm coming at it from that angle, In that, yes, that's kind of how we discuss it and how we view it through Christianity, whatever, through our society, through our culture, whatever, and all the impact it's had on everything, for the past, 2,000 years we've had. Whether I don't necessarily believe all of it, I don't know.
Are you talking about religion specifically?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not
but Christianity itself, I would say I'm a Christian, kind of weirdly, but I'm just okay, but did Jesus exist? Probably, maybe, I don't know. Yeah, was he the Son of God? I don't know. But so as I said, I'm a weird Christian because I kind of believe in something. I suppose it's more of an agnostic kind of thing that I label Christianity, possibly.
Yeah,
I'm unsure. But then but as I said, I use that language and that kind of iconography or whatever.
But the thing is, when you believing, it's not knowing, and having faith is not knowing. If you know what I mean. And I think a lot of people think no, you have to know the facts and blah blah blah. But that's why are you not allowed to be Christian or not Christian? It's up to you. And I also think it's very personal. So that's why you can't point a finger and tell someone do this and that or go this way instead of that way. I think it's a very personal relationship you have to whatever you believe in and whatever you find the core values in.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, you're Christian, great, lovely. You're probably nice and you're a good person. But what I'm saying is, when you throw in "I support Trump," that negates the Christian bit.
But
so if you believe in both, that means you're not really a Christian.
No, but also you can find. It doesn't matter if you're Christian or not. You find weird people anywhere that twist and turn things anywhere. It's my opinion, and I don't know, but that's why I think it's so sad you bring religion into someone's that maybe not be fully there or have the right values, but still put themselves in that box. But it's maybe they believe in this, but they are here. And everything does, does that make sense?
No, a lot of it's self-delusion. It's not like they know they're doing it, but they can push it down. I said the Christianity, great. There's nothing to do with the Christianity bit. But when you say Christianity, your family values, from 0.4 children, be good. But right, are you always good? Well, no, I don't like black people so much. And I like Trump who cheats. And I go, right, so the Christian thing doesn't mean what I know Christianity to mean. That means you're hiding behind it, even if you don't believe it.
I think that
you had to start, I don't like gay people as well. You go, okay.
I think that your American evangelicalism and American sort of Protestantism is very different, I think, and is very different.
Much a culture thing rather than
as an expression. I suppose an expression of American culture, whatever. But I think it's very different than a sort of British conception of sort of religion and Christianity. Stuff. Yes, that's what I mean. But so that's something I don't necessarily recognise because
you wouldn't.
Prosperity doctrine, for instance. I mean, prosperity doctrine is bizarre. That's where the preachers will say, if you give me money, God wants you to give me money. And if you give me money, God will bless you and God will show you favor because he wants me to have money.
Yeah.
So if you give me money,
I can go and travel more and spread the word. I just need a bigger jet.
Yeah, I need
literally.
I need
say
a fourth.
I need a bigger
I need
jet.
a fourth private jet.
Yeah.
Copeland, for instance.
Well, you see
that weird guy was going about the demons.
Well, there's a couple of them that have gone down over the years. And there's one, I think they're from Dallas, and you're looking at the couple talking to the camera with like a big house, talking about give the money to Jesus, meaning us. And she's just a painted on smile. You look at him going, is there even a relationship between these two people? She's just got this permanent fake smile and it almost looks nefarious, like oh, you don't look like a good person. It's like, send us money. You think, oh, you're a sick, like you're a really bad person. Like, but they believe it. They probably, they've bought into their own psychosis, sort of like with Trump. They've just started to bullshit themselves. But yeah, so what was we talking about? Oh, the Taliban. We got onto the right wing. But yeah, it was just what was happening with what's his name. I just thought, and I listened to stuff he said, I thought, you're not a good example of Christianity at all. And then you had Trump and you go, well, I don't believe you were a Christian because that's not the values. And then everything else he said, I was like, oh, Jesus. Well, literally, oh, Jesus. Do you go to church much?
No.
No? How was the last time you've been? Is it going to be shown? Have I been more recent than you have?
I went to St. Peter's in May. So,
but was that an outing or was that a religious?
That was in Rome. So,
Rome.
Were you moved?
Yes.
Oh, you were really?
Yeah. I went to the Chapel of the Sacred Heart. No, Blessed Sacrament. Sorry, that was nice. And yes, we went on a thing. We went to see the Pope Francesco, his last resting place. We went in the pilgrims' entrance and had to queue up. Where is it? So I went on a pilgrimage.
Oh, so cool. What's the where's the place where they say that's where he was born? You go inside and they've got the stone that says like Jesus was born there.
That would be
you're going to say Jerusalem.
Bethlehem.
That was it. Yeah. What's your thoughts on that? Is that from being over here?
Huh?
Do you believe it that thing?
What, like
that's
Bethlehem?
where it is? No, that's where the stone is. You're not too far.
It's got to be somewhere, I suppose. They just pick a spot. Like they just go, oh yeah, well we've done the calculations and we've done the math and it's there. Yeah. There.
But they had people crying, I think, and I thought, do they?
I mean, it'd probably be kind of cool to go there, but like,
it's just psychosomatic. If you believe it's there, then it's
there's a sort of mass hysteria to it. Kind of
people have the freedom to believe whatever they want to believe. Yeah. The freedom of speech, the freedom of if we're gonna go there.
Oh yeah.
No, but at the end of the day, it's like as long as it doesn't hurt anyone else around you, it should be fine to believe.
Yeah.
A lot of people believe that they're dogs or cats, So. Okay, sorry, I'm just gonna do it.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
No. I'm just saying, but that's a belief. It's not a fact. But
some people believe that.
Sorry, I just had to. No, it's a joke.
Some people believe that they are Sonic the Hedgehog.
There we go.
They are otherkins. Yes.
Exactly.
Otherkins. What does that mean? Sounds a little.
That's where you instead of you identify as whatever, you can identify. Oh, I have the. They have like animalkins or whatever, and they sort of go, well, I'm actually like a wolf or something. I have the spirit of a wolf or a tiger or something.
But isn't that just a mental health problem? What you know?
Maybe.
Okay.
Elements of it, maybe. And
I did see this reel though.
And then there are some people who go, no, I'm actually like I identify as a fictional character, so actually identify as Gandalf.
Right, but the word there is
Professor X or whatever.
The word there is identify. That's what are you saying? A fan of, an extreme fan of? You don't actually believe biologically.
Well, the otherkins actually believe that they are soul bonded to these characters.
Well, that just sounds like what do they have when kids make stuff up and have a friend? What do they call it?
Imaginary friend.
Yeah, that's like you almost need there's a compulsion to need another you to bolster up you. That's just like a psychological thing.
The internet's done a terrible amount of damage to the psychosis of our generation. Yeah.
Well, they say it's a weird thing with like democratic countries. That there is a psychosis that comes along with having too much choice. Which is it shouldn't be a sentence that like you've got too much choice, but there's a negative side to having too much choice. There's a negative side to not having struggle. There's
like going on Netflix. What should I watch tonight? I have no idea.
I was just going to say, streaming. I'm really bad at this now, and I'll just pop on a thing and I'll go, Oh yeah, no, I haven't seen that. Oh, that's supposed to be good. Oh, you've seen that? Yeah, maybe I'll check it. And I just spend like a good 15-20 minutes just going through all these things,
wasting time choosing.
Yeah, oh, that's supposed to be good. Yeah, I should really watch that.
Yeah,
Can't
so
be bothered now. And then I'll start a couple of things, and I'll literally watch it like a minute, and I'm like, I cannot be bothered with this.
Or maybe there's something on. I'll look at the other one that I was looking at.
And I go, oh yeah, and I'll go, and then
you just go to something you watched 10 million times already.
I just watch something crap on YouTube, and like because and then sometimes I do put something on, and I'll be doing the washing up or whatever, or I'll be cooking, and then I'm like, and then it gets like an hour in, and I'm like, I have no idea what's going on over there. I'm just going to call it quits and I'll start again.
Well, see, I use this sometimes. I even use it like online with videos and things because you have to fight against that feeling. You can't ignore it. You are there, like if you're in a supermarket and there's 1,000 different products of the same thing. So what I do, there's
I just go for the same things all over again. That's why I almost have the same dinner, the same lunch almost every day.
I said that to a friend of mine the other day. You have to force old age. Old age means you start to do the same things, all the same patterns.
No, but then I go for the same things for a period of time, and then I get sick of it, and then I do something else. And then I do something else. It's just saving time.
No, there's a lack of.
For me,
I would think that's a lack of control. That's life controlling you. No, I'm going to do it until I'm sick of it. I would jump.
No, but I also heard this is
it's logical.
Yeah, but I think women with ADHD or ADD normally have they go for the same things. Like for lunch or what am I going to have for lunch? Okay, I didn't bring anything, blah, blah, blah. I heard a study about it.
Yeah, but
I don't know how accurate it is, but for me, I was like, oh, that hit a little nerve.
I don't like change, but that's quite normal. People, it's comforting to do the same things.
Do the same things, like
there's
habits.
less friction to then have to, it's a mental thing to have to make a new choice.
Yeah.
But the samurais, their religion, Budokai, they have there's a whole philosophy behind it. The samurai, so it's called Budokai. Budokai. And one of their things is about not wasting time with decisions.
Yeah. That's why you wear this.
And I remember this. Yeah, I remember this all the time. I use this all the time. I still to this day. It sounds gimmicky, but it works. And they basically say that any decision needs to be made within 7 breaths. So you've got 7 breaths, and then choose one and don't think anymore. Now move on. And it's basically that, because we're in the Western culture and you do have too much choice. You do have to. Yeah. And sometimes you just go, no, 7 seconds up, that one, right, now forget it. That's the choice. Don't keep thinking, because I was just saying about the amount of choice. The amount of times wasted with nonsense decisions, just like what you said about the Amazon thing. You'll spend the leisure time you've got choosing, and then realise I haven't got enough time to spare now because of choosing so much. But you have to fight against that. You think, so you go. No, you have to know the problem's there and say, right, I'm not going to sit here and flick for 10 seconds. Whatever's on that screen, I'm choosing one of those. But you have to fight against it in life. So to a friend of mine the other day about life takes over you, and you've got to understand that you have to push back constantly, but you have to know you're pushing back, whether wasting time with this, wasting time with that person. It will just happen to you, and you have to fight back. But people sort of just let life wash over them. But as I said about people queuing up, you're going to die one day, and you're standing there every day having a part-time job, traveling every day. Just move. Spend that lot next month. Right, I'm moving. I'm going to put a bit less stress, and go somewhere closer. I don't know why more people don't get out of London. I don't know how people do it living in London, travelling on the trains every day. What did we have? Yeah. Oh, I don't want to ask you. You moved. Are you still in that big apartment block? I don't want to say where. The water problem.
Well, isn't it? that one. Yeah. Okay. I have a contract.
So you're sort of a bit out of. You're not in central London.
Well, I find it easy because transportation is it's pretty close though. Yeah. I find it easy to get around. Well, of course, I used to live the opposite side, and now I live. I don't know. It's quieter.
But that's what I mean. Think of it's not random. I mean, it is random that we all get on sort of well. None of us live inside London. We all had the sense to. Well,
I do feel like I live pretty close.
Yeah, you're on the border. Yeah. Okay.
But it's still
But you come from a different culture as well, so you've got that background to sort of bolster up the...
I'm from the countryside.
Somebody asked me, and I said, I've got to ask you, I've forgotten. So Sweden and Norway, what's the crossover between the two? Where are you born?
Scusi? No, I was born in Norway, born and raised.
That's what I thought, right, yeah.
I lived in Spain for a bit.
But you married a Swedish man?
Yes, I did.
And you lived there for a bit?
I moved there.
And I got the order in place, okay.
I was 20 years old, young and naive.
Is there a big culture difference between Sweden and Norway?
It's quite similar, but at the same time, we have different traditions and some different celebrations. Like we are actually an independent country. They were not. They had us for a bit, and Denmark had us for a bit. But they have it like a national day. Well, we have an Independence Day. That's why we go in parade. Like it's like 4th of July and celebrate that we became a free country.
Culturally, you have the foot in the door with them. It was sort of
we have the same jokes about each other, and then we have the Finns that is not part of Scandinavia. By the way, they're Nordic, but not Scandinavian. Just putting it out there. A lot of people even think Iceland is part of Scandinavia, and I'm like, excuse me, no.
What about the English culture? What did you think about the English culture? Well, it's London culture.
London.
Really.
We're big. We can take it.
No, here's the thing.
Less personal.
Oh my God. No, I have American friends now, and they take. I have very, very dry humor or very harsh, dark humor, and and sometimes they take it way too serious, and I was like, it's just a joke. But if I would say to someone here, they would laugh and think it's funny. Not that I'm funny, but in Norway, we have very dark humor as well. That's why we have Scandi noirs. It's quite dark. Yeah. So for me, just moving here, it just got even worse, like how I see things.
I wonder if there is a sort of darkness that comes wrong with a fairly civilized society.
Yeah, we have too much. Like it's too good. You need to put some drama in there, some death, like some crime time, basically. Like it's a lot of those things.
What's going on in Norway politically? What's going on over there?
Oh, I left that years ago.
No, but I mean, is it a conservative? Is the right wing rising up over there like most of these?
Oh, yeah.
It is. Okay.
I would say so. But right now, I don't know. Like,
who are they blaming? Which culture?
Immigrants, probably. I'm sure.
But it was the whole thing about immigrants. That's why what happened many years ago on the island. It was a Norwegian guy who started shooting.
Anders Breivik.
My dad has actually met him. When he was in prison, it was horrible because my dad's a teacher and he was going for a degree. His dad was teaching in prison. No. He was one of the the ones who set the grade. It was him and another guy that was grading him.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, when he was in prison.
Your dad was in prison?
No.
He was doing something for prisoners?
Yes.
Right, okay.
So sometimes he goes in as a censor, like as a grader or a censor and so on. So he got to meet him, and he was not allowed to talk about it at the time, but afterwards he said like, it was the most horrible thing being in the same room with him. Just like the energy and the feeling you had was just like, this is unstable. Like it's a mental man, like a guy. But the thing is, like one of my brothers, because there was a bombing happening at the same time in Oslo, while this happened on the island. My parents actually don't live too far from where the island is. Right, they moved. And the funny thing is my brother was actually visiting us with his 2 sons, and his office was really close to that area. So he was going to pick up something at the office on the way to us. But then his kids had fallen asleep when he was parking there, and he was like, oh, do I need to wake them? Do I need to this? And it's like, oh, shit, don't care. Let's just go straight to come to us. And it was like 20 minutes after the bomb exploded. And that would literally be where he has his his old office or like that area. And thank goodness they were sleeping. And that was like, and even where we lived, we kind of heard something, which is a bit weird because we lived it was around 30 minutes or something from where it was. Really? And it was insane. And that night, it's never rained that much. It kind of felt like but it kind of felt like this. Sorry, dramatic, but it felt like the sky was like crying because it was lightning as well.
Right. Yeah.
And I know it sounds silly.
I was going to say that in films they use rain as a change,
dramatic,
washing away.
But it's like there was a bombing. It was actually a girl I went to school with. She got shot on that island because it was it was horrible, and she.
What on a different occasion?
No. This was all the same day happening, but it was like
somebody got shot.
Yeah, it was a shooting on the island.
You said your friend got shot.
Yeah, there was this guy.
She was there.
Oh, she was up there.
She was on that island because it was like a political youth, I think happening there. I don't know how you said it in English.
What was his political? Why did he kill the kids?
He was a fascist, neo-Nazi, anti-immigration,
he did.
He did.
Oh, immigration.
Yeah.
Right, okay.
And
just to make a point. And
It was a
Life
sort of
didn't work out.
left-wing summer camp or something.
Oh, right, I see. So
And
it's a
he targeted
liberal.
that. So
he dressed up as a police officer and went over with a boat and
Yeah.
then started.
Would you see
there's a movie that's really, really good.
A couple of weeks ago, the Mormons that got killed in America. There's another shooting in America
Yeah,
a couple of weeks ago. And the worst thing is, he rammed into the church. He didn't die, but the car was set on fire. So the Mormons got him out, helped him, and then he pulled out the gun and started shooting the people that were helping him out the car.
I grew up Mormon, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Who didn't know?
Oh, okay.
I was thinking, it's
No,
interesting.
no.
Are your
LDS, yeah.
family Mormons?
So my mom became a member when she was 13, and then my dad when he was 21. So they were converts, you could say.
That's the golden tablet. Somebody found a tablet. Is that the religion?
Yeah,
Yes,
they
yes,
found
yes.
it. They found it. We
That's
have it
something.
hidden in our house, actually. So
Oh, the,
Top secret. Yeah.
yeah.
Don't tell anyone.
Please don't. It's real gold, by the way.
they had an event for a guy recently. It was one of the guys when the Twin Towers came down.
Oh, yeah.
He was one of the firefighters. They've held this big memorial for him. What happened is, so he was a fire captain. He went into the second building before the other one came down. And the thing was, they had a large child daycare centre in there for people that work there, quite a large one.
Yeah, no.
So he went in, and the manager basically said, "Look, we're not going anywhere. Just keep everybody on lockdown." In the second one, and he was like, "No, everyone's out." And the fire chief overrides everybody, management and all that. He said, "No, get everybody out." So he got all the kids out. I think there's like 20 kids. Got them all out, but they couldn't do the head count. So he went back in, and that's when it came down on top of him. So they've just done a thing recently. What is it, like 20 years? I think they said 20 years anniversary. 20 something. It was
more
20.
than that. It was 20. Yeah.
Okay. It was 20 something. They've just done this thing for this Captain Jack. I can't remember his surname, but because what they did is now they all the kids came along that would literally not be there
If it wasn't
and
for
now
that.
they're all grown ups, and you think then they're going to go and have
Insane.
kids, and that's one man. And they said it's like there was 100 heroes that day of those sort of
100%.
stories that just did things. He went back in to double, because they couldn't do a head catch, so we went back in, but to just override, and just one man saved all those generations of people coming down the thing. And that's the good thing about human beings, just to tie
but
it
that's the
off
thing.
nicely.
It is, though. It is.
And that doesn't get highlighted enough.
No,
you know?
exactly.
Yeah.
And not talked about enough. But of course, most of those things happen when people are not watching, if that makes sense. Or no, but a lot of people do good deeds or do good things to people, but
that's why it's important to do things.
I was thinking, yes, it's like Mark Antony's speech in Julius Caesar. You know, the evil men do lives long after them, while the good is oft interred with their bones.
Yeah.
Oh, very well, well
exactly.
done.
Yeah.
I remember I was in one of these silly people I dated when I was younger, who was just wrong.
Aren't them all?
No, yeah.
Just,
Have you been following me?
No, just the stories you've been telling.
I mean, this is a long time ago. And I was at a cash point in Leicester Square, and I was getting out some money, and I looked, and they must have been Swedish. They all had yellow rain macs on. It looked like a postcard of a touristy.
Is that
Swedish
a common
family.
thing with
No, but it looked like something
you could tell they're Swedish. They're wearing yellow rain macs.
But
I was going to say blue eyes, blonde hair.
Yeah,
I was like, no.
They had the blonde. It looked like a postcard.
Could
of what
be
you think
Finnish as
Sweden.
well, you know.
Yeah, exactly. And I didn't know anything.
I would think French exchange students. Whenever I see like a group of people in in rain
Bonjour.
macs.
No, it wasn't that. It was more sort of robotic. So it was just like. It's just going to dig a hole.
Obviously Swedish.
For whatever reason, they just look like a Swedish family. Anyway, and I saw
Painting the picture. Yes.
Yeah, and I saw the one kid, the younger one. So I was with a girl. She was next to me. I was with the one kid. And I don't even know what this story is really, but I saw him looking at the beggar.
Neither do I. Come on, where's it going?
No, I think I was trying to learn something from it, but it's not about me. But the kid was just staring at this beggar. Right, the kid was staring at the beggar in a sort of like didn't understand. Do you know that sort of look? Because I just looked over and I saw the look in his face, looking at the guy, and I thought, I can't even think about it. I took out some extra money. And I thought, I'm going to go and give that beggar some money.
Yeah.
I want that kid to see an act of kindness.
Always.
And I don't know what else. And this is like, Christ, I'm like mid-20s. I didn't know nothing. But I just thought I should do something here and not look at him. I just want him to see an act of kindness because that can tip people over to maybe be one of the things
pass
he
it
saw.
forward.
And I tried to explain. She said, why are you? I think we ain't got any money. And I tried to explain to why I gave the money.
not?
And she was like, what are you doing? I thought, oh yeah, she's just brain dead. She doesn't, I'm trying to explain like philosophy of life and letting, you never know that kid could go on because he sees certain things and I can't look at him. He's just got to see in that kindness. And she just didn't understand any of it. But that was mostly my fault as well. But yeah, so I said, I don't know what it was over years I've thought about it. I thought, why did I do that? I just thought, you never know. That could be some kid went on and he sees something else and then he sees something else. And
100%.
I suppose it's about selfless acts. What?
Now,
Yeah.
I know.
Well,
I know why we've.
10 minutes.
I know why we've all come here.
Yeah.
I know what the point of this
not for
podcast
money.
is.
Go, Charles.
We are now all survivors of the rapture.
What's that? The religious rapture?
Yes.
I'm not going back to religion again. What was the...
A week ago,
Yeah.
I believe a week and a half, 2 weeks ago,
spun things
week and a
so
half
happen.
ago, a South African prophet on his podcast predicted, said that he spoke to God and God had given him the date. I believe it was the 24th
They all say the same thing.
or 5th. I can't remember, September 23rd, 24th. Anyway, doesn't matter, a couple of days ago. So it was really fascinating. So we got to see in real time, because there was a rapture talk, like a TikTok
Oh, right.
group on about the rapture. So this became like a big thing and loads of people were like, oh my God, I'm going to meet God tomorrow. It's going to be great.
God.
I sold my car because I won't need a car because I'm going to fly everywhere.
So this isn't just one nutter. There's a group of people.
Hundreds of thousands of people. People were giving
Christ.
that. People quit their jobs. They gave away the money. They gave away the house. They gave away the car.
People should do that every day. I think the world will be a better place.
Yeah, you might have a few
you're not gonna do it.
indigent people.
This isn't going to end.
No, it would be great. Just give your car away or give money away, and then everyone is like
I've given a
sorted.
car and
Either
money
needle,
away.
either needle. It really is.
Exactly.
Yes.
This isn't going to end up in a sort of Jim Jones sort of thing, is it?
I didn't hear. No, I was expecting that because it's fascinating because this guy predicted end of the world. All Christians will be zoomed up.
Shouldn't you kick it down the road a bit though, for like 20 years or something, so you don't have to answer to it? I suppose you might believe it.
What this is the question. This question
Well, he's nefarious.
yeah. It's because is this guy? Because because you just think, why would you make such a prediction? Because it's obviously going to be wrong. Okay, and
It never happens when you look,
it's like a watched pot never boils, and you look out for the apocalypse. It's never going to happen, and all of a sudden, I don't know, you go pick your mum up from the dentist, and all of a sudden, apocalypse happens.
So what happened? He's on TikTok.
He's on TikTok.
Where's he from?
They are counting down. They're doing live streams, counting down the second, and then they're like,
I see what you mean now. Yeah,
and
it's
then
actually playing
because
out.
you're seeing it real time, and they're like, okay. And then the guy comes up and says, "Oh no, I did the calculations wrong. It's actually tomorrow."
I was just about to say, okay, right.
And I'm like,
he must
I was like,
believe it.
dude,
Yeah.
dude, give yourself a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, no one will remember that. Give yourself 5 years.
Yeah, that's
10
what I thought.
years.
Kick it down
Give
the
yourself
road.
10 years,
Yeah.
and then no one will remember, and you'll be like, oh, because they'll still be known as the prophet guy. Which is why I'm thinking
That's
it's not
what I
a
mean, give
business
him
decision.
confidence in it.
It's a weird.
Believed it. Yeah.
It's a weird thing because obviously someone's going to come back and be like, well, dude,
Right.
like what? So it doesn't happen. They say, oh, it's going to be tomorrow. Tomorrow happens, and they say, well, it's still the 5th in Israel.
Oh, right.
So as long as
really,
there's
isn't it?
daylight there, because there's some distinction, because apparently, like in the Hebrew or whatever, or Jewish thing, they said that the new day ended or started ended at noon. So when the sun went down, that was the end of the day.
Yeah.
It was a new day. So there was discussion about whether it was the next day.
The sun will never come up again.
And I was like, well, yeah, it could be just whatever. It'd be every day. Like, why not? But like, yeah. And it was fascinating watching people just going, the mental gymnastics.
Yeah.
Because you just would have thought most people would say, well, I look like a bit of a plum.
But hang on, what did it come down to? Did he say, no, right, this is it, and this is the date, or did he just keep making more excuses?
So he said it was the next day.
Yeah.
He's now saying, well, actually the rapture did happen.
Right.
It was just invisible.
Oh,
Jesus has returned. You just can't see him. He's invisible.
Yeah.
So I'm still right. That's what he's saying. And it's just like, because I was wondering, how are you going to get out of this? Are you just going to kick it down the road?
See,
are you going to say...
It's almost easy to believe if they were doing it for money. But when you go, it's mental health. He actually believed it. Like, do you know what I mean? You can... I knew somebody spiritual, right? I don't want to throw this person on, but I'm not going to say their name. One of the most talented people I ever met in this specific field, which I don't want to say, genuinely. And it was when I was putting the magazine together, which was, it was a personal development magazine. Oh, that one there. But we put spirituality in it. But I thought, right, you've got to be careful what you say because the world isn't ready for certain things. So just tie it up in psychology till the world catches up. Right. But I met somebody and highly, again, one of the most talented people I'd met, like off the chain talented in this field. And I said, okay, so why did you get involved? Like, why did you apply for this specific role in the magazine? And she said, oh, well, it was about the spirituality thing. She said, there's nothing nefarious in her job, but she felt guilty. It was a sales job, let's just say that. And she said, I've sold a lot of crap and I feel really bad about it over the years. Like it was my job to sell crap and she was really good at I thought I could talk.
In sales?
Yeah. And she said, yeah, and I just wanted to do something. I knew something spiritual and I just wanted to. And then I saw your thing. And then I was reading about your background. And I thought, I've literally just thought about that the day before. And I thought, I put positive vibes out, spiritual, someone to teach you, something to learn. And said the next day there it was. So then she started following me around, asking me all sorts of stuff. But then I realised she'd gone so off. She started wanting me to agree with things. And I had to say to her, that's not right. And it started to get a bit, and I thought, okay, she's just desperate for something. She doesn't really want to know the truth. She's just desperate for easy answers in spirituality, which there aren't any. And then we ended up sort of falling out because I had to say to her, look, you're wrong. Don't just run along. And I worried, then I started to think, that's a mental health problem thing. Like she really does believe that there's an answer that's going to come from the universe and all that. And to give in to that is dangerous. Because I spoke to somebody recently about, seeing signs and things like that. I go, yeah, you can read into things, but don't give in to the universe. Don't allow yourself to think, well, it's because no, that's you giving in. It's not you're in charge. Things happen, but don't to just go, well, I hope and I pray that this will happen. You go, that's you giving up. It's not going to work.
I wouldn't put it as a mental health thing, but it's like, I think everyone is seeking for something or seeking for answers. And it's like, of course, you're not going to have we know more things now than we did 10 years ago, and that's through research or whatever it is, or
believing.
Through experience.
It's just when you give into the whole thing of like, there's a thing and it's going to give me, I have to do this. You go, that's you giving in too much.
But that is, but yes, you can believe and have faith in something, and then wanting to live your life through that, through seeking or whatever it is.
The fact that
it's searching for meaning, surely, isn't it? And they're searching for sort of signs of something and meaning and purpose, and then something else beyond sort of the material world.
Yeah, but this is what I mean. It was tipping into, I will do what the universe tells me. I said, no, you can't
not
wait.
Take responsibility for him.
And it got too far where I thought I could just play along with this. I could start a cult with this, but if I wanted to, I could just tell her what she wants to hear. But I had to say to her, no, you don't allow that sort of... there is luck and there's coincidence, and you can create luck, and you can read signs of the best way to go. But don't do this thing of, I'm just going to see and wait, and I'm going to do this thing. And
no, it's not good to just sit there and be passive.
Yeah, and that's when I thought, okay, that's what I thought, there's something else beneath that.
Well, and I just, it really annoys it, kind of winds me up a bit, but everything happens for a reason.
Yeah.
I'm the same because it's,
But it's funny.
But I really dislike it because sometimes people just die. Sometimes someone just gets cancer for no reason. There's not a purpose to that. Yeah. There's not a lesson to be learned.
Normally, yes, there's a reason for it because something stops.
Because you miss cells metastasize, whatever.
But yes, and like nothing's fair on. Like sometimes it's fair and sometimes it's not unfair. But that doesn't. Yes, it happens, but how do you take it? How do you respond? I think it's the same with acting. Like if someone does something to you, it's a reaction. Like you have to respond a certain way. How do you choose to respond?
Yeah,
if that makes sense. Like it's.
I listened to I listened to Schwarzenegger. He was talking about when he first came to America, and like he was known as not only being from this quiet part of Austria, but they were sort of like people that were up in the hills. So he was really
on the country.
He didn't understand. Yeah. They used to get water from a well and all that. So when he came to the city and then to California, his girlfriend would say he was so backward. Like he would wear trousers that were sort of like 3 inches above his socks.
No, I looked at his documentary.
He has no idea about...
he did dress like a nerdlinger when he was... It's a weird thing because he's like a huge Hulk man. He would buy like a
50 quid suit and think it looked really good. He said, oh my God, he doesn't know what he's wearing. But he said
that's kind of fun though. And
there's
I think it's healthy to have those people around you.
Well,
because,
But he was some weird European dude. That's why he was just like,
No, I
hi,
love
I'm
it.
a weird Austrian man. Yeah, look what I've done to myself. This isn't normal.
When he came to America properly, his friends would say it was funny because he was very monosyllabic and he was using words that he had no idea.
What actually the meaning behind
Like
it?
when he would try and ask a girl out on the beach,
Yeah.
hi, he would say, excuse me, but he would say, hi, I would like to have fuck with you. And he said, we thought it was funny. And then we had to say to him, look, you can't say those words to an American woman. He said, he said, no, you're not saying what you think you're saying. And he said, but then he said, but sometimes
they explained it. They explained it to him. He's like, oh no, that is actually definitely what I want to say.
He did really well.
And I'm just going to keep saying it all the time. And I'm sure he got quite a hit, like looking like he did when he was
It's like
young.
British people going to America. The girls are like, oh my gosh, you have an accent.
Which part of
No, I had
Australia?
a friend. He lived there for 9 years. He just needs to open his mouth and speak his
I saw
lovely
a
accent.
story-
Oh, they're
and
babs. Yeah,
Yeah,
that's it.
right.
Yeah, you're right.
No, he's
How's
tiny
it going?
dude.
Yeah.
Like, it didn't matter. It's like, oh my gosh,
And
yeah.
they're like, I
saw
love
a-
your accent.
there
You
was
go,
a-
oh, it's great, isn't it? Yeah, oh, yeah.
I
Up
mean,
the villa.
Not that type of thing.
Yeah, you're like, no. Oof.
No, but it even happened to him. It's just like, okay, let's go to mine. And I was like, really? What? Just because of his accent?
Yeah.
Sorry, that's
Well, it's
maybe
not
too
even
much,
the accent,
but
it's
it's just like
they're
he told-
associating a personality with that.
Yeah. It's just like, ooh, the idea.
There was an advert on the underground, and it was come to America where your accent is an aphrodisiac. Like that's what it said on there.
Really? Okay,
Yeah,
that's
it
a
actually
good
said
advert.
that.
That's a really good advert.
That was about 10 years ago. It was
Yeah.
I thought, well, sort
come
of-
to America, you're just going to get laid.
Yeah. Oh, listen, what I was saying about Schwarzenegger, talking about acting, he
Yeah.
said, when he did, he didn't know how to act, obviously, at all. He said when he went on to do
Still did it.
the Hercules film.
And still he's learning this.
He went to do the Hercules film, Hercules in New York, and it was, it was borderline comedy. There's actually quite a lot of pathos in there when you go and watch it. Funny enough, when
He's very opposite. He's dubbed.
Yeah.
He's completely dubbed, and his voice sounds like this.
Yeah.
Hi,
he said,
I'm Hercules.
But he
and
said,
you're just like, it's not even like matched. You know what I mean? At all. It's just.
it was a cheap film. But he said I am so bad. He said I didn't realise when the actors were talking.
Yeah.
Because it's like a funny sort of script. He said, I was just laughing. He said, I didn't realise you're supposed to carry on acting.
Yeah.
But he said, well, it wasn't on me. So I'm just sort of laughing like this.
Yeah.
He said, not realising like the guy's trying to act. And just because the camera isn't on you, you shouldn't be
just because
laughing.
it's not your line, you've got to
but
still
he said
be in the
he had
scene.
no bloody idea.
No, but sometimes you have to act to a tennis ball because that's your eye line, and the actor's not there.
But just
you're-
laughing.
I'm crying. I'm so sad. Like,
But he's
it's
laughing
just-
like he's watching
Yeah.
it. He said he was on the Lucia Ball. She's an it was like a
Lucia
house.
Ball?
Lucia Ball.
Lucia Ball.
I thought it was a Lucia something Ball. No, but she was an actress in the 50s. She had a comedy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's amazing.
What's it
I
called?
Love Lucy.
I Love Lucy.
show.
Yeah.
So he was on that like as a proper bit of acting, like when he first got an agent. So you can watch it. You can actually watch it. It's funny seeing him on
that's
it.
so cool.
And he talks about it. He said, I didn't know anything about what they were talking about. And he said, so she's getting me to repeat my lines. And him being monosyllabic is the funny thing. He said, hi, I am so-and-so. I have come to give you a massage. And he said, well, we're practicing this the whole time.
Perfect.
She's supposed to come in and he's just must be going massaging, and the husband comes in. She's like, oh.
Yeah.
But anyway, and he comes in and he says, I'm from Spain.
Yeah,
I've come to give you a
Español.
massage.
I'm from Spain. I get
Yeah.
penis out now.
No, he's massage. So he walks in. He said, we rehearsed it. He said, right, you know what to do. Yeah, the light goes on. You go through there.
Yeah.
And she said, then they explained stuff to me about it. Now we're going to do it in a live audience. He said, I didn't know what live audience meant.
No,
And he said,
but see, this is the thing.
he
When you
said,
don't
when
know the language,
you could watch.
Oh,
Yeah, he said, I had no idea what stand on your spot meant. I was just doing stuff. I was just repeating the line. And he said, I had no idea that we weren't doing it again. And she said, right, so the live thing, I ignored the word. He said, right, so when the light comes, we go through. And he went through, and he said, suddenly there was like 300 people cheering. And he said, I froze.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to do. And I suddenly was
Completely forgot everything he was told.
And
Yeah,
she
all
said,
these lines.
she has to, you see him gulp when he goes in.
Yeah.
You see him go like, 'cause he's and he says she luckily said like, well, aren't you gonna da 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 da?
Yeah.
And then he
She
sort
had
of had
enough
to remember
to
the
sort
line.
of
Yeah.
But he said like his early career, she was like, he said, I forget how much I appreciated her at the time because she was giving him advice about
Yeah.
people aren't going to accept you and blah blah blah. And he said it's only when you got
No,
older.
but
he said,
that's what she went through as well.
but this is the thing. He
That's-
said,
yeah.
I appreciated years later, she was a very powerful woman in the 50s, 60s.
Oh, 100%. Oh, she was.
Like,
no.
and to still be empathetic enough, not just a hard-nosed person to be giving them advice about, look, people are going to say this.
She went through bullshit with her husband as well. Like,
and all the stuff that you're not going to know from being 15 and 16.
It's a film, isn't it? It's all right.
It's about her life.
Sort of about, I think they were getting blacklisted or, so I forget now. It's about blacklisted, but also a bit about husband and stuff. They didn't like that because he was Cuban.
Right, okay.
So, I think they were trying to, I think that was it. I think they were sort of trying to do him as communist or something.
Oh, right, yeah.
It's just very inspiring because it's like nowadays, sometimes, you won't maybe be casted and stuff, but you just need to create something your own and put it out there. And then it might be accepted or not. But she definitely became famous just because of her doing that I Love Lucy show.
Yeah. She was huge. She was the biggest star of her day.
Exactly. Even though she was older, she wasn't looking that certain way that you should be in Hollywood or whatever, but she became popular because she was, I find...
And she's a lady doing comedy as well, and that's not always accepted. And like people can be a bit think about that. People say ladies aren't funny. They've obviously never met a funny lady before. You know, they're out there.
No, just
but it's just coming through that generation that you don't know what they're going to have gone through. You can have a guess, but you can't. You think you still rise up to that.
But when you know some of like her backstory, it's always that's why I love biographies, because it's like actually knowing what they've been through at a certain age or what led them to getting where they're at, or I think it's quite.
We was talking about like reading
my struggle.
Oh, the reason behind
my struggle,
or not. Maybe they're just having like a fed with a silver spoon.
No, there's a problem. It made me feel physically sick when I realised this, because it. Well, I don't know. Maybe sometimes knowing everything sort of gives you a strength, but because I my whole life was audio, then audio books. I only learned through audio autobiographies. Like that was my big thing. Just vacuumed them up. Mainly because that was all that was about, like old audiobooks, and that was my thing of like do something in the world, but make the journey. That's what people are going to learn from you. It's not going to be what you do. That's arbitrary. Whether it's media, that's easy, but it's getting there. The struggle is part of it, and then you tell them the story. That's what you're going to leave behind. So all the autobiographies, and I went through them all, and they changed my life. I went through the personal development, kicked that to the side because that was all nonsense after years. But then I learned from autobiographies, and I just had this realization one day from like 20 years of just vacuuming them all up. And as I've said before, every year I pick out a certain amount of numbers and I download that number autobiography, regardless of what it is, online, and I have to listen to it. And I've listened to Madonna, Pavarotti, stuff I've just got, gardeners, and I force myself to listen to people I'm never going to listen to. Anyway, so, and then it dawned on me one day, and I was like, oh no, the stories you're hearing are the stories of mostly accidents of life. People with a little bit of talent, and it's like the fuse suddenly kicked in and I realised the patterns. They're all being told by it's basically fate and luck and bumping, because I started to think of trying to go against what I was thinking because it negates autobiographies altogether. I was thinking, right, oh my God, everyone in all these books, if you just took out that person there and that person there, which there was no will behind, they just met them, then that didn't happen, and then that didn't happen, and then you'd think, there's people I know that look, you can do exactly the same thing and nothing's going to happen. So when I was doing personal development, you had to sort of teach people that that's all luck. You're listening to a book of somebody that it worked out for. But Schwarzenegger, for instance, he grew up in a town. He said there was about 50 gyms in the country. The one that was in my town had world champion bodybuilders and politicians training in it. And I went there not knowing anything, and they trained me from 15. And then because of that, and I used to listen to the politics, the other guy was on Australian politics. It went on to be a bit of a Nazi thing. But I thought if that gym wasn't there, he doesn't exist. And all that story, and then if he didn't do he'd win this because his body was genetically gifted to it. And if he wasn't, bodybuilders had no money, so you couldn't move around. Most of them were just doing prostitution and part-time work. And this guy heard about him and brought him from Germany actually, to America, and gave him money to live on. Otherwise, he couldn't do it. He couldn't speak the language. He couldn't do anything. And there was that. Then there was another person. Then he got in an accident, in a car accident, and somebody's helped him there. And I thought, God, then now he's retrospectively telling a story, but it's a winner's. It's a story about fate more, and it worked in every other autobiography. I mean, Madonna failed and failed again. And I remember once thinking, okay, it's quite, you want to be successful. That's still that amicable. And her friend tells a story about that she was trying to be a ballet dancer. She couldn't. That was her thing. She was supposed to be a ballet dancer, but because of the shape of her body, she just couldn't. It couldn't happen. She was forcing corsets on herself, and she couldn't. Then she went to join a band to be a musician, and she couldn't do that, and she failed. And her friend said she made up a story about coming to America and knew it with 200 quid. That didn't happen. She had loads of money. We were borrowing money from her. But she said, I came back when she'd doing acting and she couldn't do it. She wasn't good. She wasn't talented.
No, I've seen her in some movies.
And she said, I came back and she said, into the room, we were sharing a room, and she said she was in the fetal position, crying her eyes out, and she was saying, I just want to be famous. I just want to be famous. She was on the floor in the fetal position. So that's not about talent. So the story gets told afterwards about how talented and things, but you just go, that's just desperation because
hard work. And also having that delusion is also one thing. That's what it's true though. That's true. And also putting yourself in a position to be seen and heard. Like you have to really be maybe manic to actually become famous or
this is what
hard work sometimes crushes talent. That's like, and you can become very talented maybe, but that's because of you put in those hours and put yourself out there. But also right time at right place has such a huge thing as well. Or who you know. Who you know.
Yes, connections and whatever, But I mean, also, the harder you, I mean, as I say, the harder you work, the luckier you get. You know what I mean? And like, there is an element of you, but guess what?
But working smart as well is a huge thing. Like, you can work as hard as you want, but like, if you don't.
Well, the thing with, I have to pull some sort of positivity.
But it's sort of, as I said, if you're trying to break into the film business or whatever, and you're hanging out with places, and then you end up meeting a producer at a party. Well, you're there because you're trying to meet producers at a party. So you're kind of putting yourself in. You're creating situations. You're creating.
In Will Smith's autobiography, it's a bit old now. It's good in a sad way because you see what he's trying to do and who he's trying to be, and it's just he became famous too young, so he never actually got the dignity that comes along with struggle. He was very lucky, but he was a good-willed kid. But because he was so famous so young, he never got to, he didn't have that hard struggle. It was just things that happened. But he tells one story about this that I repeat about, because I tied it all back to go, right, this is why it works, to know that it's basically luck. The talent is to bolster up when you get the luck. You have to be talented. But the luck, that's basically the story. But what you have to be able to do is be everywhere all the time. You don't tell me you're on another holiday and that person's got the gig.
You need to be available,
and you're up against
That's why
people
it's like,
that are desperate that will die.
Yeah.
And so
they're not gonna be nice. Like that's my dream. I want that. Like
that's what people ever go at me. I say, listen, I'm gonna die. There's nothing else. There's just the success of what I'm trying to achieve. And so everyone's against me. That's what you're up against. You're up against me. He talks about a story when he was. You think the story of him, he gave up, his girlfriend was in it, saying he basically turned into a bum because when his music career failed, he became a bit of a joke and it resurgence after the TV show. And so he moved to America with his girlfriend, in LA, and his girlfriend, for months, he was just sat indoors, just doing nothing. And she had to say to him, look, will you get out and do something? Anyway, he did something, he did some auditions. And then this Fresh Prince thing popped up, and they wanted somebody, and it's a bit racist, but they said they wanted somebody that acted a bit more white back then because he's supposed to be in Beverly Hills, and they don't want they can't accept the ghetto thing. They're not going to have NWA in Beverly Hills. It was too hardcore. They wanted a sort of, and they used the term of they wanted a black person with more European features. They didn't want an African person, which plays out to nowadays. They still do that nowadays. They always tip forward in adverts and films with mixed race people with European features. They just do. And this is back in the 90s. So they'd always use mixed race people that sort of could be this. Mariah Carey, is she, isn't she? European features. And then
even nowadays, they'll be. You don't see many Wesley Snipes.
No.
Like in big films.
A friend of mine told me about this in films and adverts.
Darker skinned people.
He laid it out for me and I watched it play out. Because we've become more cultural now with black, but I watched it play out exactly what he said. He said there's 5 actresses that would do kissing scenes with black guys in the 90s, and they was the same. And you can now, when you see it, you go, because Hollywood doesn't give a shit. That they said they start with these people, and it has to be a man with a mixed race. They would never start a black man with a white. And he said it will go through this structure until nowadays you can have an advert with 2 black people that look more African. But he said when it started in the 90s, you would never put a dark African person in a role. They would always break in with a mixed race person with European features. And then he said they never have a man with a white woman. It would always be a white man with a black woman, and that played out. And when he
that
told
I've
me,
noticed a lot nowadays. Always the typical man, and then he's finding love with a.
Yeah, but think how racist they were in the 80s and 90s. They had to go through the mixed race thing first because you had to sort of edge your way in. It's like I could do it now. I don't want to say the industry. But they're now just getting to the part where they've now.
Please be careful, Theo. We're walking on a very tight road.
I'm just saying.
It's pure cultural racism. But because Hollywood couldn't care less, you can watch it. He told me this, and I didn't know what he was talking about. And then in every industry, what he said, I saw play out exactly how the pattern went, right up until where we are now, where they're not too fast now, which is where it should have been from the start, where you can have a theatre play with a leading actress that was historically now an African person. In opera, now you're starting to see African-looking people coming through, because that's right at the back of the queue, opera. But basically, everything he told me, I watched the play and it was like, oh my God, I didn't, because they don't care. They just go, what do people want to see and what they don't want to see.
It's a bigger.
But it also depends on which country you're in as well, I would
Well, we're talking about America, but it played out, I saw it playing out in England to the point where I used to, stuff would happen. I go, oh my God, he's right. Look what's up. And it was happening everywhere. And you could go back at old adverts, go look at the films. The actresses, when he told me, I suddenly realised, oh yeah, in the 90s, every film that had the black guy had one of those because they wouldn't do it. They wouldn't do it. It wasn't seen as the right thing to do.
Having said that, I mean, in China, the posters for the new Star Wars movies all excluded one character, the new Star Wars films.
Oh yeah.
Guess who that was?
Oh, yeah.
It was Finn, who's the black guy. He's English.
Oh.
But he's a bad guy. And they literally had the same poster. And they had the poster, and it was all of the cast, doing their thing, and ships exploding and stuff. And then there was just a little gap where he was for the China poster, because they were like,
but it's just the thing.
They don't particularly want to. They believe. I don't know whether that's true or not, but they believe that they're not particularly interested in seeing film.
Yeah, and it's all hidden. But what I'm saying is, in the world of like cash and money and Hollywood, let's not pretend they've caught up with the world. It is the way the old people see the world. That's how it all played out. And they had to change culturally.
Well, luckily, it's changed.
Yes.
Yeah, but that's what I mean. I don't give them any credit, because you should have done this 50 years ago. But it's just, you can actually see the patterns of how it all edged forward in every industry, in media, in films, in adverts, theatre. They edged their way in. Is that okay? Is this okay? Is it they? And up to now, I start to see African people in adverts on there, 2 African people, like it's.
Oh, have you seen the advert about the guy who's always on the horse, or like it's a wash for men?
No.
It's like focus on him all the time, and then it changes and go up. Yes. Yes.
What is it?
It's like, hey,
Old
I'm
Spice.
here. I'm hot.
Old
Blah, blah, blah.
Spice.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's
Old
such
Spice.
a good advert.
I haven't seen it. So what plays out?
Huh?
Old Spice.
Yeah, I know. It's such a good. That's such a
got
good
told off
advert.
about
I'm
that.
sorry. You can find it. You can find it.
But what's the advert? How does it play out?
No, but it's just like it's always focused on him, and but the location around him changes. But I think that's a really good advert.
Hang
in
on,
my
but
opinion.
I haven't seen it. Can you tell me what it is?
Yeah, it's on YouTube. You can find it.
That's fine. It's fine.
It's
We're not
really
gonna get
fun.
details
He's just
of
like,
it.
here,
But
hey,
what's the thing of it? What's so good about it?
It's for men. Like it's such a good advert. Like it just.
You just keep saying it's a good advert, but what? He's good looking. It's the cinematography, the music.
Great. He's great looking. He's a great looking man.
So Old Spice is coming back.
He puts us all to shame.
Old
told off
Spice,
for
where are
wearing
you
that.
at?
I had to
Bring
stop
it
wearing
back.
it. They brought out a new Old Spice, but I thought, that's just
No,
random.
but he's No, I'm just saying. Have a look.
I think they should go back to. Oh no, yeah, no,
Chakar Noir, yeah.
high karate
Well, if you
and
watch
brute,
it, you'll understand.
with just like brute Burt Lancaster with a hairy chest just spraying. But remember when Aftershave came out, that was seen as very effeminate. Like in the 70s when Burt Lancaster and they started to get them putting on. Because even
that
soap,
after-
soap was seen as effeminate. You forget like that when you go back far enough. So it's like watches. In the magazine, we had a fashion thing, and it was about how you culturally get used to different things. So watches, only men carried watches, right? The wrist, and women they brought out a range of watches for women, if you can imagine such a thing. And they were called.
You should not know the time.
They were. Well, there's no need. Why do you need?
Why
to
do
know
they
the
need? Yeah.
What time the husband's coming?
What are they
back?
going to their jobs?
I tell you what the time is and when and where.
But what they were called is wristettes. So and then
the wrist.
It was gay men started to wear the wristettes, and that's when it became a bit. Oh, it's very effeminate for a man to not be having a pocket watch and to be wearing a thing, and that became a sign of like being gay. Like, but they were
what a good sign to sign each other. Like,
but even that,
I am.
But it sounds like ludicrous now. But it was the same with the aftershave because for years you can watch old comedies in the '60s and they still laugh at people and they call it scent. They don't call it aftershave. Oh, he's wearing scent. But
scent?
Yeah, like he's got his scent on. And
it's like you're a hunter or whatever, laying out little traps.
Men wore heels first, wasn't? I think.
Yeah, probably.
That back in the day.
Wigs.
Yeah, wigs, heels,
dresses.
Corsets.
But that's what I'm saying.
Had sex with multiple other men all the time. Yeah. It
was always there.
It's just a free for all.
I find like you guys were more feminine than we were almost at some point.
Well,
it was peacocking, wasn't it? It was literally like it was literally peacocking.
Because the Victorians, the pink was for boys, wasn't it? Blue was for girls. Yeah, they were just pink was in the posh families.
What happened? I love blue.
Yeah, no, pink would be. You can watch in films. You have the pink was for boys and blue was for girls, and they just for some reason just swapped around. But it's just it's so nonsense.
It's like how every now and then the polarities, North and South poles switch. You know what I mean? Like every few
Let's turn it around a bit.
It just suddenly does this thing. It just goes whoop, and you're like, oh, okay, I guess we're doing this now. You know. Yeah.
Well, that's the thing about it. If something's cool, then if too many people do it, it doesn't become cool and it goes out of fashion.
Well,
so a friend of
all it takes is a few middle-aged men to ruin everything.
I shouldn't be.
Agreed.
We're great.
We were talking about the fitness model. Were we recording that? The date, the fitness. When Theo, know your audience.
No.
Okay, so she.
Theo, know your audience.
What was he talking? Yeah, hang on. What was he just talking about? I've forgotten. You just pushed me off. What was you just saying? We was talking about
gay
Agreed
sex.
to men, middle-aged men.
No, it's gone.
Ruining everything.
White men.
Peacocking. Yep.
Yeah, no, it's gone. Okay.
Do you want
maybe it's best I've forgotten.
If you want something, if you want like a new slang term to just die,
no, that was it. That was it.
Just die. Just start. Older people start saying it. Oh, that's fleek or whatever.
No, but this is the thing.
So fetch.
Yeah, that's dead. That's dead.
There's actually a brand called that. That's fetch, or that's so fetch, or something.
I don't even know what that means, but I'm assuming it's cool, and that's why I don't know. What
Just watch Mean Girls. Have fun. Watch Mean Girls.
But you can make up words.
Yeah.
It's just it's the inference you give it. But anyway, see, she had a gay friend who's in fashion, right?
Yeah.
And she said he started to dress like you. Like I'd met him a couple of times.
He or she? Or they?
She said to me, because I met him a couple of times.
Yeah.
And she said, and I can't tell you about him, but that's half the reason we fell out. But anyway, but she said, oh yeah, we've started saying trendy. I said, what do you mean? So she said, you always say like something's trendy. I said, yeah. Trendy means cool. She said, no, that went out of date years ago, but it's sort of like come back in fashion. So we're saying trendy to be like a mod. I said, it's never been out of fashion. Yes.
No, but it feels like things are just looping nowadays.
Yeah.
Like
so I thought,
really,
so I've come. I said, so my cool now then? She says, yeah, it's sort of like old cool. Well, thank God I wore those flares. I wish they would come back into fashion.
Oh, or low rise jeans now. Like
low rise. What does that mean?
No, like the waist, where the waistline, like where like high waisted jeans.
Yeah.
You know, but now it's like low rise again. You know.
Yeah.
Example, like Megan Fox with her low rise. Like
I don't know any of that.
You don't.
Who? Do you remember?
She was the woman who used to bend over a lot in the early Transformers movies.
Oh,
one of them. Yeah, that was. Do you remember the zoot suit, the big baggy suits that they wore in the 50s, like the pimps used to wear, like big shoulders and big baggy? If you remember,
we had that we had that in Norway for a bit.
Yeah, do you know what that was?
They get revival randomly every like yo-yos. They you get like a month or two and you can just use a yo-yo and everyone goes, oh, that's really cool, and everyone goes, oh wait, this is dumb.
What is the sense of this?
What is
the meaning of this?
Yeah, I grow tired of this very quickly. Like
Next.
At the beginning of a Malcolm X film, you see them because they're pimps and they're wearing all the big thing. And what it was it was a sticking up of the fingers, because what happened is after World War II, there was a ration on clothing, like material. You didn't, so it had to be, you couldn't have like
That's
food.
why I had like suddenly slim ties and stuff.
Yeah, everything was ration.
Yeah.
So what it was doing, like the pimps and the people that just didn't give a shit were purposely buying it as a sort of
Like baggy
FU
clothes on
to a. That's why you had that big baggy look.
The thing of
Because
wealth.
it was actually to say F up yours.
Like sort of being pasty or
Yeah,
whatever.
and
Back
overly
in the
colourful.
day,
Overly,
you know?
they put colour into it as well, which is technically it's no law, but morally you weren't supposed to. You're supposed to be respectful, and they were like, "No, F you, I'm gonna have all this baggy clothing." So yeah, it's all like weird with fashion stuff. Like you used to see, well, it's just fashion.
Just express yourself.
Yeah, I had that conversation with somebody the other night, and but people don't, because it's a nice statement, but they don't. I was telling her,
I would. I wouldn't have any money in my bank if I wouldn't.
Yeah, but that's why I get in trouble, because I say there's no difference between me in 10 years, and there's exactly the same. But I said the problem is I notice it in people where I like being around people where the difference between what's inside them and what you see is very small, and you're never going to see it because everyone's got dark things, mostly sexual stuff. Their thoughts, they all keep them hidden. Yeah, it all comes down to basic
I feel
stuff.
like it's more you're marketing yourself more or less now. Like
What?
no, just in general, like in the world we live in, it's like you're marketing yourself as in what is real or not. Like
No, because people are
you're
scared.
not as
I mean, it's a weakness. It's not going to get you
authentic,
anywhere.
Maybe you're just putting in
With social media and stuff, there is certainly a
Yeah.
persona sometimes
Yeah.
people try to
Well, I mean,
cultivate.
physically, like
You know?
literally.
Yeah.
No, it's the
Sure.
same with dating or anything. Like it's more marketing than actual. Like I want to find someone.
Yeah, but that's I wish I said, oh, I'm just me, and I think no, but it was a downside. Like it's no good. There's no good to it. Like, I annoy people, and you think it's not. It shouldn't be a thing that you have to hide, but people do. But the more we've talking about relationships, I said that's the problem where somebody doesn't say they like doing something because of that, and then that turns. They will think, well, they don't say anything about that, so then I won't, and then they don't say anything about that, and then and it falls apart because you just haven't got the balls to just go this and allow yourself to fall out with people.
Yeah.
But why go into things not being honest? It's like an alien thing to me. And everyone said, yeah, I know what you mean, but nobody does it. They just won't. They'll just live like children, hide it for their whole lives and have affairs and do other stuff. But I said to her, because she was saying, what shall I say? I said, say that and be willing for him to disappear, or that, rather than what you're going to not tell him, and then
but sometimes that actually builds a better relationship
What's
when
that?
you are honest, like full on.
But that's
honest.
all it is. It's you having the balls to say
then,
it's okay
like
for you
we
to
said
leave.
earlier, like if you say something and that other person goes against it, or like it doesn't take,
Yeah, it doesn't suit them.
then you know,
That's
easy,
fine.
you save
That's
time.
fine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you're like next
Yeah,
or
but
move on.
The
Like
problem
or
is people don't do
yeah.
that. And
No,
I said that's
yeah.
the big problem with.
I find it more interesting when you're with someone and you actually sit down and have a conversation where you feel like you can be open and talk about this without being judged. But then that you should have, like, if that makes sense, like you can sit
but
and talk
that's-
about it and discuss it or be open about it than feeling I can't say this or I'm annoyed about this or.
But that's why I said,
or-
from my background, I've always surrounded myself with crazy people. They annoy me more, but you know exactly where you stand with them.
Where you have them?
Like a friend of mine, I said recently, she was an escort. She was young, and so I was doing security with her, and we became friends, like long-term friends. And then she'd only do it when I was doing security for her, because she was quite hard-nosed, like really strong personality for a kid. It was really like, I think, how could you be that strong-minded at that age?
As a kid, how old?
She was 17 when she started, and she told me when I met her 2 weeks after her birthday, she said, I've been doing it for 2 weeks before her 18th. And she used to go to school in the mornings. Probably the strongest person I've ever met to this day. We still speak. Anyway, talking about being honest. So she said, oh, every year we meet. She's a police officer now. Oh, she's just left. And she joined the police. Yeah. And she said, she was a feminist. She's like very strong. We used to sit there like while she's doing that job, and she'd be telling me about feminism in the 50s, and she did graphic design, 18 years old and doing that job. Anyway, so we've kept in touch. We're friends now. But she a couple of years ago, she said, oh, after the police hadn't seen her, she was a year of training. So we met up, and she said, oh, let's go to this place here. I went, all right. So we met up, went for a meal, and it was mortifying because it was a themed restaurant, but you had to watch a play with two people in a small room, quarter the size of this room, before they went in, and they were pretending to be cowboys or detectives. And I was like, what have you done to me? There's two people acting in front and we can't go into the restaurant until we've watched this play out. And it went on for about 10 minutes. I'd given all the smiles I could. She's laughing, enjoying it. I'm just mortified of just these two people. They were almost taking the piss because they clearly didn't want to be doing this. They were actors doing it for a job, you know. But then we went into the restaurant. But then I thought they'd drop it. But then the barmaid and all that were coming up and asking me for stuff. And I could, whatever you asked, like if I wanted a drink, they'd say, I can't do that. What do you want? It has to be a bourbon orange. I said, oh, right, everything's got to have a bourbon in front of it. Can I have a bourbon lemonade? Okay, I get it. But I thought, does this turn off?
I get a bourbon.
I've got to keep this up. But the way it was
bourbon
cooked,
Coke.
The way it was cooked was, and I asked her, but I thought, oh no, she's not breaking character. So I've got to figure this out. Anyway.
Can I just get a beer?
Just give
No, but it was literally
just
that.
want a beer.
Anyway, so this is a talk about liking crazy people because she's off the chain. I can't even tell you things that she's told me.
And she's a police officer.
Well, she gave up. She told me to go F himself. She said, I'm not putting up with that. And that's her saying, and she, because of stuff she told me in the police force, she left after a year and I realised, oh, they are that bad.
Oh.
Anyway, so we sat down finally. I ordered the drink in God knows bourbon this and chips with, well, it wasn't even called chips, it was called something
Bourbon
else.
chips.
I didn't know what.
Bourbon steak.
And I looked
a
at
lovely
her,
bourbon chocolate.
and I said to her, why in God's name did you bring me here? And she, with no stress in her voice, she didn't even look at me, she just carried on. She went, because you wouldn't come if I'd have told you. And then she just started, and I thought, she's absolutely right.
I'll give her that. I'll give her that. She's right.
That's perfect. Yeah. I wouldn't have come. Yeah. She's been brutally honest.
Yeah.
I wanted to come. You wouldn't have come. I came here, and I said, and it was forgotten. I thought, and that's why I hang around with crazy people because they'll annoy you a lot of the time. Like she annoys me because she's an infomaniac, and I'm not talking about in the joking sense. I'm talking about, oh, for the love of Christ, I've got to put up with this. You can't take her anywhere. She'll disappear. And I go, where? She's got no sense of like. She's with you. Where the fucking? I've got to go and look for her. Right, that's what I mean by and like she used to tell me she used to pull all her teachers when she was at school, and she used to tell me like I'd have to force them for years before they were like. So when I mean never mind, I'm not talking about jokey. I mean about full on, even with the work. And she said, I just like to. I can't not do it. She said, I'm in a relationship, I have to cheat on them because I can't get a nutso and I don't want to, so I don't tell. Right, just so now I mean by, you know what I mean by serious. So when I'm with her, she'll disappear and I'll have to go and find her because she can't turn it off. But we get on great because all the personalities, our backgrounds, there's no judging anyone, no matter what. So that's why I say I hang around with crazy because they'll annoy you a lot of times. Yeah. They'll be late and they'll tell you why they're late.
They still accept you.
Yeah, rather than be in the world I'm sort of in now where it's all hidden, everything's completely. Anyway, somebody said to me the other day, they were talking about. He said the therapist, and he said, "I said what?" Your therapist said, "The big, you know, what the big problem is." He said, "From doing it for years," he said, and he told me a few things. Some of them I can't say. He said, "Most people in nice families, in nice houses, and nice careers, middle class people," he said. None of them are having sex. He said they just don't, and you think they do, and they don't. And he said, and then he explained to me some other things about why the women become quite masculine and the men become quite docile. And said because they didn't do certain things, they started lying to each other. The power exchange changed, and then the woman become more dominant. The man starts to lose self-respect, so then the woman becomes even more. And he said, so it's affairs. That's the big problem. The guys are having affairs here, the women are having affairs there. And he said, they don't, you know, this is my career. And he said, you don't realise that all these people in these nice, well-to-do, he said, none of them have got a sex life with the other person. And you think they have. I thought, how sad's that? But that starts off with a week into dating, you don't say something because you don't want to offend somebody or be polite or you think they might not this. But then they're the same way and then you don't say that. So then they think that and then it just goes that way. And you have a kid and then that's it. No more. And then the relationship falls apart and you end up resenting people. And it's only what you said when they get to 50, they're just so sick of it. They just think now I'm going to leave. But you've had 10 years of misery. Like no sex. He said to me, he said, most of them, they're not having sex. It's just, they just live together. They're just friends. I thought, oh Christ. I remember when the lockdown happened and a lot of people in media had, I don't want to say names, but had podcasts and they were getting stressed about being at home with people and their family. I thought, isn't that like your best friend and your kid? And why are you getting stressed a few weeks in? One of them...
a friend of mine said it was the worst experience of his life.
Yeah, no, that's weird.
He had a couple of kids and and a wife. And I'm like... He's a worst in that it was very stressful. I'm sure he loved it. I know he loves family, but he said it was very stressful and being there, and they were quite young, and it was like, and he lives in the middle of a town, so he couldn't really get out much, and blah blah blah. So yeah. But still,
I only could mention this.
It's like a great holiday for me. I loved it.
I think a lot of couples found out if they want to be together or not.
Yes.
Like,
no, they don't. They get together when they're in their 20s because they think they have to for their career. They want to pop the baby out so they can get back to their career. They don't know the person. They just did it because they have to. And I've seen people literally just go, right, this month I need to find somebody because I'm going to be this age soon. Yeah. And then they give up everything. They do internet dating. They get somebody. But anyway, so Louis Theroux, in his own book, it's the only way I say this name, was like a perfect example of what I just said. I couldn't believe he put it in his book. And this is him saying in the audiobook where he talks about being away all the time. And they met at the BBC and then they started dating, do this thing, couple of holidays, then have a kid, then get the kid, get the nanny back to work, and they don't know each other. And he said the wife was complaining about the time they hadn't spent together because he's doing Louis Theroux documentaries all over the world. And she literally said to him, I'm having feelings for other men. Like blah blah blah, and then it sort of gets brushed over, and he brings it up again in another chat where at the end of the chat she says I think we should see other people, which to me is code word for I've been having sex with other people. And I'm just telling you now, it's not like you wouldn't throw that out unless you were doing it already. And it reminded more or less, but it reminded me of what this guy told me about. Oh right, nicey, politey, civilized. Aren't we all nice and civilized rather than. Yeah, you're faking the civilization. We're animals still.
There's always been also been studies on like actually men that are married are more successful than women who are married. If that makes sense. Actually, women. you're like what?
Well, no. Well,
no, but as in like, it's more that men need women more than. Okay, this sounds really bad. No. But there was like a specific study of married couples that are men and women, so on. Yeah. That females don't need men as much. Like they can be happy alone.
Yeah.
Rather than men being more successful and happy in a marriage, because you have the carer. If you're going stereotypical, like stereotypes here, but just like seeing that.
No, I know what you mean. But really, the women's more mature anyway. They're more capable on their own.
Yeah, but we're also naturally very caring, very taken care of, like putting yourself last, especially if you have kids and so on, or
But yeah, no.
I feel like I'm
well, they're like an old married couple.
Yeah, like
if
the
lady dies first, the bloke's screwed, and he's just going to end up living like a cupboard somewhere, eating boxes or something. And burning newspapers for fuel. Other way around, he does first, lady lives on. She's fine, she's got hobbies, potter about.
She got her friends.
Yeah, got her friends, a little group, whatever. She sort out the house. Yeah, it's fine.
There's a BBC audio documentary which I listened to on that. It was a doctor. They looked into this because of people saying like, oh, he died of a broken heart and all that. And they looked into it and they said it's a definite difference when a woman dies from the man. And he said it's all nutrition. They went back and looked into things. He said, because the men, he said, they noticed, they went deep into this. Yeah. They said the men go back to eating basic rubbish food. They don't cook food. He said, and
some of those old boys as well.
It's not all men though. My grandpa, he's like,
as a general rule of like generally people getting old, like the guys never cook. And he said we noticed that when their food, they'd go back to having lots of tea and lots of toast, and both of them contain high levels of vitamin A. And he said that can lead to heart attacks. He said, but they went back and looked at people that died and go, yeah, that's what it's. It literally, they're not cooking. It's not the stress and the heartbroken. I'm sure that's got to do with the emotional side. But so I thought that was interesting. But we'll end on the sex thing because I just met the porn actress told me. Well, just a bit more lighthearted.
Right.
But she said...
End on a light-hearted anecdote from a porn star I once knew. Go for it.
A retired porn star,
go
which
for
is no joke. If you can come through that industry, right? She said to me, and this goes back to about being honest with sex stuff, that she said, a bad relationship can be held together with good sex. So when you're in a good relationship, that's how important it is. And as I was talking to the person the other night, I said, you don't say that now, then that happens, he does not, and that's how important it is. But it sounds like you're being a pig. You go, don't underestimate, like I've said about most things with human beings are base level stuff. Why does that politician hate gay people? And why is that person going on about this? Why is the Christian... it always comes down to one or two emotions, unless there's another reason. But yeah, she said that's how important the sex is, isn't it? And she told me some other stuff. But I said, yeah, you're perfectly right about men.
But yes,
Well,
isn't it?
have sex.
She said you can make men better by doing this, lie to them. And she told me, I thought, yeah. And then I told her about a story, a guy I knew. He said, I could tell you, I was with a girl, the sex wasn't that great, but she made so much noise. She said, it made me lie to myself. And I knew I was lying. It wasn't that great, but she was reacting like it was. So it made me enjoy it 10 times. He said, and I thought, God, we're just kids. Just like, he said, I wish I had...
Bit of a performance theatre, isn't it? You know what I mean?
But that's what she said. She said, just kick the bed, so scream, call him name, tell him he's a god. And he said, even if they know you're lying, it will work still.
Hang off the chandelier, whatever. Jump from the top of the wardrobe onto the bed, like, just, yeah.
And I can't, this is the stuff I can tell you that she said. But yeah, that time, because it sounds like being a pig.
Do whatever.
A bad relationship could be held together with good sex. So that's how important it is in a relationship.
It's an important dynamic.
Well, it's the main. Honestly, everything could be helped.
It's important. Anyway.
Yeah, Krem's kept quiet through all this. So it's good to see you back. What did you get there? Did you get a normal cappuccino?
It's just a flat white.
Okay, I could have put that in a teaspoon. Just put the coffee on a teaspoon. All right, well, that's us back. So we're going to be back with some interesting guests next week. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Love me or hate me, God knows you made it when he let his eyes on me. 여기 네 눈이 날 바라보는 눈빛이 이미 다 말해줘. No, ain't gonna let anyone keep me down. No, no, you just gotta keep up 'cause I ain't gonna slow down. No, no, everyone just wanna get to know ya. 이미 시작된 걸. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. You got stung by honeybee. You just wait to see. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. 저희 kiss는 없을 거야. 아마도 그럴 거야. Lazy lover, undercovers. 너 지금 이 느낌. Eating biscuits, sharing secrets. Now it's just you and me. No, ain't gonna let anyone keep me down. No, no, you just gotta keep up 'cause I ain't gonna slow down. No, everyone just wanna get to know ya. 이미 시작된 걸. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. You got stung by honeybee. You just wait to see. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. 저희 kiss는 없을 거야. 아마도 그럴 거야. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. You got stung by honeybee. You just wait to see. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. 저희 kiss는 없을 거야. 아마도 그럴 거야. How do you think I'm sweet? I'm sweet, so sweet. Baby, I'm so sweet. Oh, you got stuff.